Welcome to Curry TV. I'm going to be making tapioca with beef. This is a special, authentic version of our tapioca with beef. So the proportion is how much tapioca you're taking, use the same quantity as your beef. This can be known as yucca or tapioca in different ways. So this is actually the yucca or tapioca. And I've taken off the skin and cut it into a cube size. Okay, so that's ready, and the same quantity as beef. Now for this spices, we're going to be using red chili powder, coriander powder, and turmeric powder. And I also have whole spices ready for the beef, which is I have quarter teaspoon of fennel seed, 1 small stick of cinnamon, and 4 cardamoms and 4 cloves. So that we're going to be grinding in the pesto and marinating our beef with that, along with some salt. To saute, we will be using garlic, onion, a small piece of ginger, tomato, curry leaves, and for the tapioca, we'll be using pearl onions and few green chilies according to your spice. Now, this is an authentic Kerala dish, so I'll be making this in coconut oil. So before we go further, we need to warm up this is a pan filled with water. I've let it come to a rolling boil. Once that's rolling, add our tapioca into it and let it cook. And then towards the end, it will take about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how well the tapioca is. Now what I did first was took off the skin, cut it into small pieces, and soak in water for at least half an hour to 45 minutes. So in case if there's any bitterness or anything, that will actually go away when you're soaking the tapioca in water. So that's what I've done and drained it and ready to go. If you don't want to go through these mess, let me tell you something. Go to your Asian grocery store. They'll have the frozen tapioca in this form. Just buy that. You don't have to go through this extra work. While our tapioca is cooking, I'm going to marinate my beef. So like I said, the beef quantity is according to your desire. How much ever do you want? So equal quantity would be the perfect size for this. So this is washed, ready to go. Now you could use riblets for this recipe. That would go great, but my kids don't like the bone in it, so I'm just leaving that out. So this is 1 pound of beef with 1 pound of tapioca. I'm going to be using quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, 2 tablespoons of coriander powder. Now if this is fresh, it would be even better, but that would be fine. And chili powder is according to your spice level. So I'm using a nice heap spoon of 1 spoonful of red chili powder, along with 1 spoonful of garlic sliced. You could use some crushed too. Okay. And this is half an onion thinly sliced into medium slices. So all that in here with some curry leaves. Now curry leaves is according to your taste, but I'm just using maybe 4 leaves split in half, and salt to taste. What we're going to do is actually give it a good mix, and I also need some whole spices. The fennel, cinnamon, cloves, and cardamom goes into a pesto and grind them. So that's all our spices grounded. All that goes in. We don't want to leave any of that flavor out. Now you got to get this to your hand and marinate it very well. If you have beef broth, 1 cup of beef broth would be very good at this stage. Now we're going to cook this in an induction cooker. So what I'm using right now is actually chunk roast. It has a little bit of fat in there too, so it will be really, really tasty with that tapioca. So after I grounded the spices, I'm also going to be grounding our ginger, a small piece of ginger. Now marinate all of that together. Okay, so that's our beef all marinated. What I'm going to do is close this So when the water comes to boil, we're going to be adding 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder just to flavor the tapioca. That's what I did for my tapioca. Now this is just fork tender, so you can see it's holding its form. I just grounded our coarse paste of coconut, green chili, and shallots. Just a couple of those. Couple of the shallots, 5 green chilies, and 1/2 cup of coconut. That's this paste. And in the meantime, I also crushed few pearl onions just to, when we are sauteing this, it will just enhance those flavors. I checked on our beef. It's so nice and soft. So while that is heating up, we are going to use coconut oil for this recipe because it's an authentic Kerala dish, right? So I just used 4 spoonful of coconut oil. This is just regular spoonful. Okay, into that we're going to be adding, put in a couple splashes of curry mustard, few red dried chilies. That's just 2 that I've put in. Now goes our crushed pearl onion. I'm going to put in few curry leaves. I'm not even tearing them up. Now that is all well sauteed, goes in our course of coconut, shallots, and green chilies. Get that raw taste of coconut all gone. We're going to add in our tapioca. Because I added 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder to my tapioca, I'm not adding any turmeric powder to my coconut. So it's well drained. Now give a good press with the back of your ladle. See, as you can see, though it's, look at this. That's how soft my tapioca is, right? My beef is ready to go. All the stock that came out of the beef is still in there. I'm just going to add it in. And the beef. Give it a good mix. Now I did have tomato, 1/2 of a tomato cut up in case if my beef doesn't have enough stock. I was going to use that, but it doesn't look like I need it. So I'm going to cover this, cook for like maybe another 5 minutes. Well, all that flavors incorporate well, and make sure your salt is according to your taste. If you have a frozen tapioca on hand and if you have some beef, now you know what to do, right? It's all just, look at that. This is a dish definitely to try it out. Okay, so let me know how it turned out for you. I'll be waiting. Thank you so much for sharing among your friends. There's a lot of you asking for different recipes. It'll be coming soon. I'll see you next time.